Welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel. Here we are. It is March 24th or somewhere around there. And man, the world has changed quite a bit since last time we sat down and had a talk. And so I just thought I would give you guys an update on how we're doing over here and just wanted to hear from you guys on how things are going in your state. And also just talk to you guys a little bit about, for those of you out in other states or even other countries, just kind of some things to expect when I don't know, your state goes on lockdown, which is probably most likely to happen in most states across the United States anyway, and probably in many other countries at some point or another. And so what do you expect? What are some things that you should prepare for? Not to be fearful or worry or anything like that, but just to make some common sense decisions for your family and kind of what to expect. We're here in Michigan, and recently, last night at midnight, we went into lockdown, or what they call stay home, stay safe, or same thing as a shelter-in-place order that they had in California, New York, and other things. It's just a nicer way of putting it. And so what that means for us, I think Ohio, Illinois, New York, California, I think maybe Washington, New Jersey, and maybe some other states in there. Louisiana, I think, might be doing something similar here. What that means is that it's not that we're confined to our homes or anything like that. Generally, these statewide mandated orders have been closing of all non-essential businesses. Restaurants are still open for takeout. Fast food restaurants are still open. Home Depot is still open. They're considered a essential place. I believe that Ace Hardware and hardware stores are still open. Farm stores are still open for animal feed, and veterinary clinics are still open. Banks are open, usually for drive-through only. Your trash pickup's still going to happen. Obviously grocery stores and pharmacies and things like that. Our Dollar General is still open here in our little town. And they have been a lifesaver for us. They've had lots of stuff in stock that you couldn't find anywhere else. And so what should you expect? So yesterday when the governor announced this order, there was a clear panic in the community. People wouldn't come right out and say it, but I went out to grab a few things. I needed some more feed. I just wanted to get ahead of the game, and a few other items that we needed, some milk and just some things like that. Things that we need regularly. And as I went out into the nearby town where we go to shop, I stopped at Aldi's and Walmart and Family Farm and Home. They were packed. There were people. You could tell everyone was just kind of hurrying. There was a sense that they needed to get everything that they could, before this thing happened. The lockdown took effect, and people were being very kind. There was no anything like that going on, but by far, Walmart was hit the hardest. The shelves were pretty much empty at yesterday as of 2 or 3 in the afternoon. You're not going to find any flour, milk. They did have in stock. Eggs they did have in stock. The meat section, frozen meats, was just about bare. I mean, there was just some expensive steaks and some other things left that are the last things to go, and there wasn't much of that left. Frozen chicken and all the frozen meats and things like that were very, very bare. Certainly could not find any ground beef or anything like that at any of the stores I went to. Anything basically, the canned good aisles, spaghetti sauces, of course toilet paper was completely gone. It's been gone for weeks now. Any of your canned goods like canned vegetables, canned beans, a lot of the baking supplies were pretty much cleared out. They did have bread. And so, there was just a lot of things you could just tell. People were just stocking up and clearing things off the shelves. And I think that's happening across the country. But I think it again, when this lockdown was about to take place, people kind of started to go nuts again and buy things up. So if you're in a state that has not gone on lockdown yet, maybe they will, maybe they won't, hopefully not, but probably it's looking that most states will at some point do some kind of a lockdown. And so if you're not there yet in your state, a couple things I would recommend. I would recommend getting yourself, go out and get some flour, get some sugar, get some baking goods, baking soda and baking powder and things like that you need. If you want to get some canned vegetables and spaghetti sauces and other canned things like that, I think, having a week or two supply of those things is probably a good idea. Of course, toilet paper, if you can find toilet paper anywhere, it's a good idea to grab a few rolls of that, because you'll probably have a hard time finding that. Any frozen meat, especially ground beef, if you use a lot of ground beef, We use a lot of ground beef. We use a lot of our farm meats as well, but the only meat we buy normally is ground beef, and maybe some frozen chicken breasts and things. But I would recommend getting some of that. Stock up a little bit on ground beef and other things, frozen meats if you do use those a lot. But the one thing that I did notice, none of the fresh produce was out of stock. Not I don't think it's that people, you just can't stock up on it. You can't buy 400 apples unless you're going to make applesauce or can them or store them some way. You can't buy a bunch of bananas. You can't buy a whole bunch of tomatoes because things are going to go bad. So all the fresh stuff seemed to be in stock. It still is, I'm sure. People, you're going to have to go to the store regularly and get those things, and so I don't think there'll be a problem with that. I guess two things, other things I wanted to say. Number one, we're doing great here. We don't. Life hasn't really changed too much for us. We work from home. My wife and I both do. My kids are homeschooled, and so that hasn't really changed. We honestly spend a lot of time at home, and we do a lot of ministry things. That's the only thing that's changed is the ministry work that we do has changed into different ways. It's not the same. We're not spending as much time at churches and things, but we're doing ministry in different ways. And I think this is worth noting. Our faith in Jesus and our faith that we have is stronger than ever through these things. It gives you a sense of calm. We feel that God's plan is greater than anything else, and no matter what happens over the next 6 months, we're gonna make it. We're gonna get through it, and God has a plan for these things, and we follow Him. We have His eternal hope, and that's what carries us through this stuff. And that's just where we're at. And if you're not there, if you don't know the Lord, this is a great time to maybe seek out and get some of those questions answered. And so it's just that's really what carries us through, no matter what happens in the world. And so I think that's worth mentioning. But we're doing good here, and I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. How are you doing? What's going on in your states? What are some things you had trouble finding that you're running out of, or other things like that? And with that being said, we don't hoard up or stock up a bunch of things. We're not preppers. We tend to, try to take care of our animals and think ahead and things, just like I think anybody responsible person should do. But we're here to help our neighbors too. We want to make sure, if they need something, we can give them whatever we have. We can share the things that we have if we have extra of things, and even if we don't, we'll share what we have with people. And that's part of why we try to think ahead. I don't want to be a burden on anyone else. I'd like to help other people and not be a burden. And so I try to think ahead and take care of those things as much as we can. And I think we did a pretty good job of getting ready here. Like I said, hasn't really affected us too much. We've had everything we needed, and we've been fine. Lockdown started yesterday. Of course, the whole thing's been going on now for a few weeks, 3 weeks now, 2-3 weeks. We're in lockdown for 3 weeks here in Michigan, starting yesterday, and we'll see how things go over that 3 weeks. I have a feeling that people are going to get kind of used to this. It's not that big of a deal, I don't think, and we'll get through it. So. Hopefully that encourages somebody out there, at least let you know what might happen if your state's thinking about doing a lockdown or a stay-at-home or a shelter-in-place type order. We're still allowed to go out and get gas. There's still gas at the gas stations. Gas stations are still open. There's still food at the grocery stores that we can go and get throughout the next 3 weeks. There's going to be some things that are short, and there's going to be some things that people are hoarding, and that there's not going to be a lot of, and so. You may want to think ahead with that stuff, but other than that, we've been totally fine with what we have. So quick update, quick talking video here. A lot of talking. I apologize for that, but content will still keep coming out from the SSL Family Farm. Planting some more seeds and getting some greenhouse stuff ready, and we're going to be tilling up some plots here pretty soon. And we've been moving animals around and starting to get things cleaned up, and we're going to be out in the barn cleaning and organizing and just starting to move forward. Spring's coming, hay season will be coming soon, and we'll be planting things and growing things, and it'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys will tag along for all those things. Subscribe, of course, if this is your first time here. Hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when we post new content. Don't forget to hit thumbs up. Let me know how you guys are doing down below in the comment section. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.